Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Yes, at the start of the show, we did interact with the management of Indian Bank, as well as you had the Prime Minister who spoke at the India Mobile Congress. But now we will kickstart taking your queries. And viewers, today we've decided to keep it a very special show and only based on technicals. We will be speaking to Hemant Kapadia, who will take all of your technical queries today, given the fact that we've seen the market carnage over the last 6 days, and today there is a brand new series. We are seeing respite in the market, Hemant. So we thought, why not just keep it technical special? And we have a lot of technical queries actually pouring in today, Hemant. So let me dive into it straight. And the first one I have is coming from Satya, and Satya wants to know about TTK Prestige and Indian Bank. TTK Prestige he's holding from the levels of 790. Indian Bank he's holding from the levels of 390 rupees per share. He wants to know what sort of a strategy should he adopt. Should he look to average these counters, or if you advise against averaging, so what sort of stop loss should he keep in mind for these counters?
Very good afternoon to you, Sheldon. Thank you for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure. Yes, it's technical. That's nice. Firstly, whatever we've seen as a knee-jerk reaction, the setup in TTK Prestige isn't bad. Support comes in at 740 and 690. I would say a hold right now with today's low as a stop loss. I know it's a pretty deep one, but the low was 733. Don't expect anything much till we take out 820. Once again, setup is not bad, but we need to overcome this level for a further upside to come in. Sheldon.
Okay, hi Hemant, this is Shrishti also joining in. The next query that I have is coming from Mohit from Ludhiana. He's holding 200 shares of Campus Activewear from a price of 289 rupees. His time horizon to stay invested is for the next 2 years. So what should be his return expectation?
Okay, a little bit of a caveat. We don't have enough data to take a 2-year call, Shrishti, because it's at an all-time low, and we have a couple of years, 1.5 years, or almost 2 years of data. Not enough to take a long-term call, but with whatever data that we have, lower top, lower bottoms, it's recently posted a fresh all-time low. That is weakness as of now. So I would say as of now, hold. Keep yesterday's low 263.90 as a stop loss. Don't expect anything till we overcome 305 on the weekly chart. There is apparent weakness on the stock, which, despite a couple of promises, has refused to go away.
Okay, the next one is coming in from Raja, and he wants to know about two counters actually, Hemant. One is Tatva Chintan and the other one is Tarsan Products. He's saying both of these counters are 52-week levels, 52-week low levels. He wants to know, does it make sense to now invest in these counters for the medium term?
Well, we'll start with Tatva Chintan, Cheryl. I don't think I don't see any technical compulsions to warrant a buy or an add or an average at this point in time. 1600, 1850 was a 3-month consolidation. On the downward breakout, it turns into a distribution. We're once again at a fresh all-time low. Soon after listing, the series of progressively lower tops and bottoms haven't stopped, Shell. Oversold on the short-term charts, yes. Does it warrant a buy? No. One would need to wait for weekly close above 1600 to take a expect some technical green shoots to come in. So as of now, if you want to punt with today's low as a stop loss, fine. As a buy, no. And the other stock, could you please repeat, Shell?
All right, the other stock is Tarsan Products.
Okay. I don't track this very closely, so I don't think I'll be able to actually comment on it.
Worries. Hemant, the next query is coming in on IDFC First Bank. Dayanand has purchased 10,000 shares, but his entry level is 82 rupees. He can continue holding it for the next 6 months. So what's the outlook going ahead? Should he continue to hold on or move out of this particular name?
Essentially, it's a clear hold. It's a correction within an uptrend or an up move. But if I can request the investor to extend his time horizon a bit, that would make sense. But even then, even for 6 months, it's a hold. In terms of support levels, we have support coming in at 84 and 76. We need a close-up on 98 to resume its uptrend. We are in an intermediate correction. It's going to take a few weeks more for this to play out.
This one is coming in from actually AM Varghese actually, and AM Varghese has IRB Infra, about 1,000 shares already holding at the levels of 33 rupees per share. Hemant, makes sense to stay put with IRB Infra right now as well?
I think so, Cheryl. Frankly speaking, it's an oasis in a desert. In this week, after what we've seen the market go through, this is one of the few stocks which looks better. And this last week posted a fresh all-time high. So I would say a clear hold. Levels to watch out would be 29 and 25.
The next query is coming in on a stock which is very near to its 52-week low levels, that is RTI Industries. Manish has bought 1,000 shares, but his buying price is 500 rupees, and he's worried that there could be more fall and the stock could be back to its COVID low levels of around 300 rupees. So any sense that is this near to the bottom of for RTI Industries? Because for today we are seeing a bounce coming. So how much reliable is this particular bounce?
Frankly speaking, Srishti, I'm equally worried as much as Manish is because RT Industries, frankly speaking, doesn't look good in the sense we've peaked at an all-time high of 1020 2.5 years ago. And since then, the basic lower top, lower bottoms has continued unabated, Srishti. So frankly speaking, yes, we are oversold. Like I said, we're looking at a bounce over here, which is absolutely right. We're on. It's underway. If the stock goes from 535 to 435 in 5 weeks, we can expect a bounce to maybe 460 or 480. But the setup is still not very promising. The make or break level, I normally don't like to term make or break levels, but yeah, the make or break level for RT Industries is 445. A weekly close below 445 should drag it to 420 and below. So I totally agree with the investor. It looks wobbly, and despite a couple of hits and misses, there isn't longer term technical reversal signals available yet. Short term bounce underway.
Okay, so that's the take coming in on RT Industries. But with this, viewers, it's time to slip into a very short break in this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Buy Now Sell Now, show where we get you answers for all your stock related queries. And continuing the same, Hemant, the next question is from Kadir from Hyderabad. First of all, he's happy that his query has been taken, and he's been a regular viewer of our show and finding that useful too. He's sitting at a good gains in some of the recommendations. But Hemant, the query that he wants to ask is on Happiest Minds. He bought the stock at a price of 920 rupees. He's a long-term investor. Should he stay invested since he's sitting at a loss? If he holds this particular name, what should be the hope on recovery?
Once again, Shishti, his outlook needs to be at least 18 months or more. It hasn't performed badly, but it hasn't staged a comeback like maybe a TCS did or HCL Tech did, or maybe many of the mid-cap ITs like Bsoft, Coforge, whatever. So once again, a stop loss needs to come in at 763. The time period for his holding should be at least 18 months. If this thing has to change thing, I mean, if this it's been flat, done nothing, a mild negative overhang. Firstly, we need to take out 947 and finally 1024. That doesn't seem to be happening in a hurry. Once again, hold for 18 months more.
Right. This one is coming in from Jaya Devapa, and Jaya Devapa is holding 270 shares of Berger Paints at a price of around 590 rupees per share, and is holding the stock for the last 1 year. Wants to know what should he do for the longest term. Hemant, do you think that Berger Paints is a bright spot to stay put with? When it comes to the paint segment, we saw Asian Paints numbers were not that great. The stock actually fell, and a lot of competition also entering the space.
Well, we're sitting on top of a 25-year uptrend, Cheryl, and currently we've entered into a correction of a greater degree. So we peaked somewhere in 21, Cheryl, and I believe that peak isn't going to be surpassed in, okay, now we're just 2 months in this calendar year, or maybe even the next. So this is going to take some time to play out. So if, unless he's got a longer term horizon, it's a sell on bounce. It's going nowhere. Currently we are in an intermediate downtrend, but yes, Over the last 2.5 years, it's in a big range between 715 on the downside, 440 on the 715 on the upside, 440 on the downside, and I don't think it's going anywhere from this range. So you'll have to be patient and hold for the long term, or it's a sell on bounce.
The next query is coming from Shiva. He's holding shares of ICICI Bank. He's been holding the shares at a price of 944 rupees, which is his average price since in yesterday's fall he did add some more quantity. He can stay invested for the next 3 to 6 months. So any likely target coming in on ICICI Bank?
The first target is around 960. If we close about 960, then the target converts to around 990. So as of now, hold with a stop loss of 885.
This one is coming from Balan. A couple of stocks actually that he's holding in his portfolio, Heyman. One is KRBL. He's seeing 10% loss in that. One is Som Distillery, 10% loss. Sheela Foam also 10% loss. And only CDSL in his portfolio is giving him a 10% profit. Now, out of this, for the short term, what should he do? Stay put with these counters till he covers the losses, or some other strategy altogether?
Well, frankly speaking, Shell, the market still remains wobbly. I don't think stability is going to come in a jiffy. 19,250 is going to be a headache for the Nifty to overcome. We are going into a weekend, and yes, I believe whatever we're seeing now or we'll see on Monday is a bounce, a recovery, not a rally. So we'll have to first wait for the market to stabilize. Coming back to his stock, starting with KRBL, his short-term view is a hold, oversold. The stock is bouncing back. So I guess one can wait a bit. A recovery is underway, and I believe that should last a bit more. CDSL, frankly speaking, is a no-brainer, Cheryl. Stock is going to go to 1,500 and 2,000, but this is a longer-term view. So assuming, I think he can segregate CDSL and keep it as a long-term investment. Looks good on charts, and currently also it is showing relative strength, Cheryl.
The next query is from Vamsi from VIJAY. He's writing to us for the first time, and his query is on Samvardhana Motherson. We are getting a lot of queries these days on this particular counter, but talking about Vamsi's portfolio, he's holding 270 shares at an average price of 130 rupees. Can he continue holding this particular counter? Would you advise to average out at this point in time? What should be the outlook?
Okay, he managed to buy it at the wrong end of the spectrum, but nevertheless, I think it makes sense, Srishti, to tell him to average. We are at 92. Do not average at one go. Spread it a bit, because the market, like I said, is still a bit volatile and would take some time to be stable. We're at 92 levels to average 89, 85, and 80. These are 3 levels he can average. If he were to take a 1 or 1.5 half year view, Srishti, we are heading towards 112 and 125. So the setup is positive on technical parameters. The stock is ticking almost all boxes. Buy and declines.
Okay, Heyman, I'm unsure if you tracked this one, because this is an extremely recently listed counter, Signature Global. I don't think you'll have enough chart history to talk on this, right?
Absolutely, Cheryl. Frankly speaking, not much to go on, but whatever I have, higher tops, higher bottoms, the basic of a bull market or an uptrend, Cheryl. And frankly speaking, even in a market like this, it's posted a fresh all-time high. Relative strength coming in, support comes in at 530, 510, 495. But like you said, caveat, Cheryl, not too much of data to give a authentic or a more reliable picture, Cheryl.
The viewer already is holding about 14 shares at 449. What sort of medium-term target then one should look at then? Or near-term, very near-term actually. Anything?
Okay. One small caveat again. We need a closing of a 560, which is possible. It could happen today or on Monday. If that happens, your near-term target is 595.
Thank you so much for that, Heyman. In fact, thank you so much for taking out time for the show, and also waiting by while we had the Prime Minister speak at IMC. Appreciate it, and thank you for being part of the special edition of Buy Now Sell Now. That was Heyman Kapadia for you. And viewers, we are totally out of time on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. We didn't take your query. Please don't be disappointed. We will be back next week, and we'll take as many queries as possible. For now, it's a goodbye from Shrishti, myself, our producer Abhishek, our director Santosh. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week.